Welcome everyone to week 89, week number 6 I think it is, of the new build. So we'll be keeping abreast of that. 735, if I remember correctly, subscribers. So 735 thank yous to everyone. Please continue subscribing. I'm trying to reach 1,000. Now, if you'll excuse the noise in the background, that's the TV. We're going to start this week. Fingers crossed it's a little bit more exciting than just seeing someone pour concrete. Good morning. Like I promised you last week, on Sunday I got, I think it was 7 big bags of soil and sprinkled them all over, and it went nowhere, it really didn't. I've got a couple of bags left, so this week, just before I water the lawn, I can see all the undulations and bare patches, so I'll take those bags with me and sprinkle a bit. I'll show you what I did. There's a tiny bit there, then oh, by the way, that's the size of the bags. Huge things, weigh a ton to lift. Sprinkled a bit all the way down there, give that a helping hand. Sprinkled a bit here. I actually sprinkled some on this bit here, sprinkled some on here, and tons of it over there. So I'll carry on as best I can, and hopefully we'll have this lawn looking nice. So that's what I've done. Now let's go and have a look what the builders are doing this fine morning. Well, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. The formwork's off. That looks reasonable, doesn't it? So that's what we've done so far. He's going to measure up now and put the formwork on this bit, he said today, and cast it today. He's removing the nails because we don't want Max to stand on any of those. That wouldn't be good. I will leave these guys alone and we'll come back a little bit later and see the progress. I just saw Marvin, and Marvin's bringing the plumber this morning, and he's also producing the drawings, the plans and elevations. Right, the reason I need a plumber is I deeply suspect there's a leak under here somewhere, because you can see the ground is darker than the adjacent ground, so I think there's a leak there somewhere. Now that feeds into the house water supply and all that, so he's gonna take a few plants out and have a little look and then shove the plants back, hopefully, or Joy will. Another thing he's going to look at underneath there, there's this rainwater pipe from here. This one here goes out and then shoots down the back. Well, at that point it's very near the surface, and I think the lawnmower's gone over it and has spelched a bit of the pipe out, so I've just put that block over it to stop any debris going inside, but he needs to repair that as well. There's a couple of loose seats in the house on the toilets. I can't get my fat arm round the back of the toilet, so I'm hoping this plumber's got a skinny arm and he can screw the seats back down to make them tight. I'm sure you have the same problem at your place. It's a little bit cloudy, a little bit overcast. However, that worries me not. Oh, lovely Tuesday morning, and that's the concrete. Now the formwork's off it. Looks very good. So he's moved the formwork to the front area there. So once they finish that, they'll be casting that today. Right, well, the plumber's here and he's doing a bit of gardening, He's just removing the plants that were in the way. He's found the leak already. It was a junction that comes from the house. Instead of being 90 degrees, they've maybe used 45, and they didn't seat the pipe very well in the junction. They then poured concrete around it just to hold the whole damn lot in place, which is what we're going to do. So what he's going to do is expose where it's leaking. It's just leaking that joint there, that joint there. So he's going to expose that. He's going to put some waterproof plastic membrane on it. We're going to let that harden. We're going to run the tap to see if it leaks, and then we're going to get the guys that are building the building over there to give us a spade full of concrete, and we're just going to shove concrete over it, and that should be sufficient for that tiny little leak. We're just on afternoon break at the moment, and we've just poured concrete into that area there. They're going to do a little bit more concreting in there after break. So progress. Right, we have an issue, and I'll tell you what it is. That rainwater pipe there connects into a manhole underneath that plant. That rainwater pipe does the same. It comes down and goes into there. The sink outlet, which contains dirty water, which runs 365 days a year and contains bits of rice and goodness knows what else, that also runs into that manhole. Then there's one pipe from the manhole that runs straight out through the garden, through that wall, and empties there. Okay, this is the way they do it in the Philippines. Then it wouldn't be so bad if it just soaked away, but it doesn't. We had to put a hole in the wall there because this just overfilled. It didn't go down because there's a concrete base on it. Then it goes along the road and follows gravity. Today's little event maybe stops just under that car, but it does go all the way down here and stop where the trunk is. Well, not only does it smell, not only is it slippy, it looks untidy. I'm sure the barangay are going to have their little word about this sooner or later. So we've got to do something about it. My two plumbers are going to excavate here where the pipe runs and put a 90-degree bend. Then it's going to go all the way, follow the line of this hose pipe down to there. Now we've measured it, and it's 1/2 metre just under below the surface when it comes out the wall. So where he's digging, it's a little bit less. So from there to where I'm standing, the ground slopes down towards me. So by the time we get to where I am, we're not 1/2 metre below surface, we're probably on the surface. So that's good. So we're just going to do a little bit of a trench all the way down here, like I said, down to that wall there. From that wall we can put it just below the surface, or maybe even on the surface, and put stones over it all the way down here and connect into that pipe, which is also surface water. Well, actually it's not, that's the overflow to the cesspit, and out onto that wasteland at the back. You can do that, don't worry about that, boys. So that's the plan for the next few days. Get this pipe in place, disguise it as best we can, so we don't have that unsightly mess on the road every time we turn the taps on in the kitchen. There's only 5 things these guys have got to worry about. 1, the cesspit pipes. You don't want to hit any of them. 2, there's a rainwater pipe that goes from there out and through the wall. You don't want to hit that. There's a rainwater pipe that goes from there out and through the wall. You don't want to hit that. Somewhere along here, I can't be bothered to go through my records, there is the power to the house and the internet to the house. I believe going in a diagonal line somewhere here. You don't want to hit either of those. And finally, you don't want to hit this pipe that goes down there. So they're going to be enjoying playing with Max. Let's go and have a look at the main house, or rather the main building over there, and see what's happening. So we've removed the formwork from the bit that we did last night or yesterday. Looks alright. I saw the old man doing a bit of making good here and there this morning. So today's concrete works are over there. So he told me he's going to do that bit, the column, that bit, maybe that column as well. So that'll be a good stretch for Wednesday, won't it? God, it's like a building site over here. Well, the agent came round and said, did we want to go and see a plot? So we drove up the road from our house, only about 30 seconds, to a plot on the right hand side. This is it. You can see when they built the road, they just put all the earth that they excavated on the plots. So it does look a bit of a mound. So if we get it, an excavator can just move that mound further down the plot and it'll level it out quite well. That's the view from the back. That lower level there in the rainy season, that would get a little bit damp. And there's Joy talking with the owner, trying to negotiate a good price, hopefully. Have you ever seen anything like that? That is a bamboo tree. Ay, 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 it is huge. Absolutely massive.
Lalo yung mga fruit bearing trees yan eh.
Crazy. See, it's not a crazy slope. That means that the rain all drains off our property down the bottom. That bit won't be there, so that comes down quite a lot, so that kind of evens it up. Well, Marvin's had a shock with a snake, so for some reason, I know, don't ask me to explain that. So for some reason he's brought me a plant, which I'll put there for the time being. We've got that big bushy plant from him as well. That pair of plants and that one. That one, this one here, grows into, you see that big one by the gate, grows into that. Right, so let's go and have a look at the guys and what they're doing to my lawn. There you go, we've exposed the pipe. That's the one we're going to do a 90 degree on, and we've gone all the way down there. So we've also exposed, that's the internet going into the house, so they're very careful not to destroy that, and they're even more careful not to destroy that one because that's the main power supply. So he's being very careful with that. So we'll get the pipe in the next few days, put the soil back, put my grass back, give it some seeding and compost, water, and hopefully you'll never know it happened.
Baby, people want to listen to songs, not to your voice.
Yeah, we've been out for a meal. Very nice it was too. Got my visa with a weird photograph. And this is what the guys have done so far. They're doing very well. They're finding all manner of hidden pipes. But they're doing a good job. And they're preparing the formwork for that bit there, which I guess will get poured tomorrow. Yes, very good. Well, Thursday morning Joy got up early so she could meet the builders, and they went off to the merchants, to get the pipes and all the connections and God knows what else. So he's just fitting them now. What we're going to do is splice in there, put a 90, shoot down there, missing all the pipes. That should be it. And we might even get it backfilled and the grass put on later on. What do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think of that for progress? I'll tell you how much this has cost me in a minute. The pipes cost me, what did she just say? 4,000 pesos. And the labour's cost me 4. So that's 8,000 so far. Well, 8,000. So it's 8,000 pesos that's cost me to put a pipe from there to there, all the way around. Compare that with where you live and tell me if that's a bargain or not. There you go, you can see he's returned the plants to their proper positions. The ground still looks a bit wet, but that's it is drying out because it was all wet over there, wasn't it? So there you go. I think that'll look good. So that's a success. Right, let's get back to all this noise. Before I get there, you know I told you about this light here. Well, that's excellent, it really is. It's doing a great job. It lasts all night. Not surprising, is it? But it's 500 watt. So now we've got it in the right position. I've got to fix it. So I'll be fixing that panel to the wall before the rainy season. I don't want it sitting on in a puddle. And I'll somehow fix that light. So that's the next little job for me to do. But that was a good deal. Okay, so look at that. We fixed all the formwork. Nearly, just a little bit left to do. We've supported it so it's not going to collapse when he puts the concrete in there. And very, very shortly we'll be pouring concrete. So that's the last of the ring beam at the top. I think Marvin said something about the roof metalwork turning up either today, Friday or Saturday. Laying it out on the grass here and then painting it. Ready for the shuttering to come off, say Friday or Saturday, so they can start installing it. So these boys will then drop onto the back, either excavating the hole for the cesspit or building the toilet area. Yes, we shot off into town to, that's the last thing I think that we need. Yes, it is. That's the last thing that we need for our gym. So we've got the weights, we've got the exercise bar, we've got the bike, we've got the stomach crunch, we've got everything really. Now, I asked them to put a rodding point here, or an inspection pit, or whatever you want to call it, because if there's going to be a blockage, it's going to be just there, I think. So it now goes down here, under that, there it is. They've started to do a little bit of the backfilling. Oh, look at that, they've put my grass back. You can almost not tell it's been done. You see, that's the difference between these guys doing it and the other guys doing it. So there you go. It's all looking pretty smart, isn't it? Just put some fertiliser stuff on top of that and keep watering it forever and a day. Should be alright. You see, it's just below the surface, so you've got to be a bit ginger with the old when you're planting things. But anyway, we've got to there. It's going to go over to there, like I told you before, and then it's going to shoot down there. Very good. Well, would you look at that, eh? Would you look at that? And he done a great job. So, he's put in the concrete now, and it's just setting in this Philippine sun. We'll wait to see what that looks like tomorrow morning when we take the formwork off. He's just mixing up a tiny bit more. He just told me there's a little bit left in the beam itself, so by the time he's mixed that up and put it in, it'll all be finished. Now he's just doing the last bits now, and he just told me, in fact, that the old man's wife's not feeling very well. She's in hospital with a fever, so hopefully she gets better soon. But he also told me that the roof metalwork might turn up in the next few days, and the welder starts on Monday. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to next week, isn't it? Here's the next bit of concrete going in. Don't tip it on my head, sunshine. There you go. He's a good boy. I gave him that bag of soil and compost, and he's put that in the grass just to help it grow a bit, I suppose. Look at that, and he's done a good job. I'm gonna water this tonight and like it's going out of fashion. We're just waiting for the PVC glue to harden, and then he can do a cover up of the pipe joints, and off he goes down there, shoot across there like I told you 1,000 times, getting the level right. He's got a spirit level, so he's going to do it correct. He's done it right so far, because I put water out the sink and it all came there. So it's looking good. Well, it's a lovely Friday. The boys have they're keeping the formwork and that in position for another day or so until we have to take it off, just to be on the safe side. Here we're doing a bit of barbecue. Yeah. We're going to have meat later on. Fried dog. Now round the back, we've started to do the foundations for the toilet. I think that reinforcement will probably go on the top, so they'll probably make new for this. So there you go, that's where we are at the moment. In fact, we can watch this as it goes into place. Not all the stirrups are on there, of course. There you go, that's how they do it. So let's see the old the koi at feeding time. These things get fed 4 times a day whenever I walk past the tank, to be honest with you. So they all swim up towards you, and then you sprinkle food on the top of the water. You have to mind your fingers, they'll have them, tell you. They're all about 12 inches long. Yeah, so I've got 8 of those now. That gold coloured one just gone out of shot at 12 o'clock. That's my favourite. But they're all pretty good. Now, of course, there's more animals to look at. I realise I've not shown you many videos of my chicken collection. So let's start. This one here is sitting on an egg. She's called Christmas. That one's Christmas because I saved that one from being eaten at Christmas last year. So she's got a life of luxury. She's not on a plate, that's the main thing. There's Sir Peckalot, the one on the left looking at us, and that one down there is called Lucky. Because she's lucky she's still alive. A, she was rescued from a dinner plate, and B, when she got here she was pecked unmercifully on the head. That's why she's not got her little I think they call it a crown. Why the crown's not grown, because she that skin was gone. It was bare skull. Well, I cured that with some eye drops and I washed her, and she's formed quite a bit of a bond to me. So I don't think that one's laying eggs yet. I think that's the only one that's not laying eggs. Right, who else have we got in here? Well, so here's Red. Come here, baby. Red is very, very friendly to me. She'll jump on my shoulders. She'll she'll eat food out of my hand. She really will. She's a big bird as well. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, she's probably my favourite. Then this one over here is called Brunette. She can be a bit quick. She's not overly friendly, but she'll let you pick you up. She'll let you pick her up, but she don't really like it. That's one of my original birds. And then we're missing Blondie. Now Blondie wasn't here this morning. Let's see if she's still in there. Yeah. Oh, she's puffed herself out because she don't want to be annoyed. But Blondie's laying an egg at the minute. Blondie's my second. Blondie and Brunette were the birds that turned up. There you go, look, she's come. Blondie and Brunette were the birds which started the collection. Yeah, look at that. She'll let you. She'll come round you. Yeah, she's quite a friendly bird, Red. So that's the collection. 5 laying birds and 1 big cock. Never thought I'd say that in my life. So this is it's on bare soil. I don't know what it's coming across on the video like, but it's quite well kept, this area. We've got 3 laying areas. They're like a bucket, and they go in there. Then there's the cage there for any birds in quarantine, or little baby birds, or if I get a quail, that's where they'll go. There's the original house. It looks a bit shitted on at the minute, but a good dousing with water will clean that up. The roof to this cage, can you see what's happened to it? And I'll tell you who's done that. It was the birds did that. It's not wind or anything. They stood on the roof, and with their beaks and their claws, they've ripped it. So sooner or later, I'll do something with that. But they got quite a nice area here to hang around in. Oh, we'll see one. You see, old Peckalot's quite friendly as well. Oh, don't you go for the camera. Yeah, Peckalot's quite friendly. Ever since he had his, now we can see it out of both eyes. And his scab fell off yesterday, at long last. There he is. He's giving me a stalk. There you go, there you go. Anyway, that's it. So let's go back to the house. There we go, a little bit later, and we've got the all the steel work in. My friend here is just getting ready after he's just finished linking it all in with wire. He'll be putting the formwork in, and they'll be slapping some concrete in there. And that will be my toilet walls started, or rather my foundations. Then we'll be pouring concrete maybe tomorrow, although he is mixing concrete in there. Let me find out what he's going to do with that. Yeah, he's just confirmed he's just mixing some concrete up now, and he's going to put that in there. So we've got some good progress today. Beautiful scorching day today on Saturday, the day you'll see this. So this is what it was like in the Philippines at 9:30 in the morning. So let's go and have a look what's happened. I think I heard rumours of concreting last night. So let's go and have a look see, shall we? And there you have it. Concreted the footings, or the foundations, whatever you want to call them. They've also been hard at work this morning, putting the metal on the stirrups, in making sure they're in the right position. He's just going to do the last one, I think, maybe on that middle bit, and then maybe put some formwork on the columns. Is that correct? You're going to do formwork today? He is. He's going to do formwork today, and then he's going to might do a concrete. Are you going to do any concrete?
Yes.
Oh, there you have it from the expert. Formwork and concrete today to finish off the week. That will go nice and hard, and then we could do some block work next week when the roof turns up, we hope. Well, Joy bought some more soil and compost yesterday, so I'm just going to unload that and stick it round the side by the pool, so we can use the car again, really. Well, there you have it. That was this week's thrilling adventure. When we first started this week, I wasn't sure how I was going to pan it out, because all they were doing was that the concrete work at the top, and that would have been a boring video. So I'm glad other things happened where I could include them. So I'll see you next week. The roof should start next week, so that should be something to watch. Look after yourselves, and I love you all.